right, so this iteration of Jeskai Control, I believe top 8'd something or other. I think it was one of the GP top 8s. I like that this deck has some proactive threats in it in Crackling Drake. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. You just want to like run people down. It is interesting that this build does lean into the double white cards. I'm interested to see how the mana feels. Let's pop into some matches with it. The old double red, double blue, double white deck is a little ambitious potentially. That's great, Twitcher. That's fantastic. Seems fine. I've got Teferi and Search for the purpose of an aggressive. I got Teferi and Search for a control deck, and I've got Seal Away for a potential aggressive deck. That being said, tokens Azcanta's not particularly good against. That being said, I've got 3 Clarions, a Cleansing Nova, and 2 Settle the Wreckage, so we definitely have tools to be competitive against tokens. Oh, I didn't post we're playing Jeskai Control on Twitter. Cleansing Nova is an excellent pickup here. Itty bitty bugle boy. Okay, so it looks like the Boros Mentor deck as opposed to... That's a big scary. Have my water break, add revenue. Thanks for not leaving me at work and coming back for some standard. Thank you for the bits, Kason. Yeah, people often ask me what's the best way to like not get frustrated with Magic, or like if you're feeling frustrated, like still play but not just walk away from the game. And honestly, my best suggestion if you ever find yourself feeling frustrated with Magic is change formats. Magic is basically a game engine, and the formats in Magic are effectively different games. They're so drastically different. Like Modern and Standard are completely different formats, just like Legacy and Modern are. So if you find yourself being frustrated with one of those formats, coming back and taking a break and then coming back or playing a different one is fantastic. So I think I'm going to go ahead and settle here. Just like keep my health total high. Next turn, if they play a Danto Vanguard this turn like I expect them to, next turn I'll be able to go Teferi plus Steal Away the Adanto when it attacks, and then they'll probably play CGN Commander. We'll clean the board up with Cleansing Nova. My Pirates Primer is up on coolstuffinc.com, so if you're interested in reading about pirates, be sure to head on over that way.
I am not going to sit this one out. You know what? I'm not.
Seal Away looking pretty good here. Seal Away's been a card I've had mixed results with in this format. Sometimes it's very, very good, and then other times it's just like, why are you a Seal Away? Both being an enchantment that can get blown up and the fact that the creature has to be tapped to exile it is a big deal. Only 3 cards in my bin, so still pretty far away from the search for Azcanta. And honestly, I think the diversity of answers that are seeing play in this format is one of the things that makes the format so good. Like, people keep asking me, like, what makes the standard format so good? And the fact that even when you get down to just like what answers you're choosing to play, there's such a variety of things that are correct to be doing, adds a lot of play and interest to the format, in my opinion. All right, so I'm gonna field Aerodonto here. And then I think I'm actually going to play this second. I think I'm going to play the second search out here, because playing the second search puts the first one into the bin, which puts me to 6 cards, which means I can flip the other search next turn. It also means that they kill Teferi here like they're likely to, I can keep the top card of my deck even. Wow! They're respecting Settle. That's so good for me. That is incredibly fantastic for me. I think it's Justice Strike. I think it's Justice Strike. I can see Expansion Explosion being the take there. What's going on, Spard? Welcome to a live one. Hope you feel better. I'm at the tail end of a little bit of illness myself. So, like, next, I get to activate Azcanta again here, and then next turn, I can Justice Strike plus Clarion clean the board out, and then, like, I still have this Cleansing Nova left over to deal with the CGN Commander.
Time for plan B. Hey, that was uncalled for.
That was uncalled for. My opponents played this game pretty well. I do think they've respected Settle a little bit too much, but I like how they've, like, paced their CGN Commander. I think with the Teferi's in hand, I just don't need more card advantage here. Don't forget to give your creature's lifelink, chat. We're at a pretty high health total here and have plenty of cards in our hand.
Good part.
This might be a concession, Clarion. Morning, Lil. This is the part where you concede to the Jeskai control deck, by the way, chat. If you think control is really unfun, you're just not conceding to it when you're dead. The control deck, the game is over before the control deck puts your health total to 0. It's the most important thing you can learn about how to play against control and not hate Magic.
That didn't pan out.
That's true. If they have a Banefire, they could maybe be okay. And that's actually another reason why Drake is really good, is because Drake gives you an answer to Banefire.
Stop that now.
Stop that now.
Enough.
Good thing I brought my backup, Tef.
Sorry I'm late.
Grixis mid-range. Thank you for the bit, Sal. I appreciate that. Thanks for the support. I think I'm supposed to bring in the threats in this matchup because they're probably a Banefire deck. I'm gonna trim these expansion explosions, I think. Probably don't need Blink. The Bronze Subliga. Thank you very much for the brand new tier 2 sub. I appreciate that. My tier 2 subs support me a little bit extra, so you get a little bit extra in return. Be sure to let me know which deck you'd like to bump in the queue this month for that. Welcome. Yeah, I guess they have a lot of big ins. I'm gonna trim an Ionize. It's not quite resource efficient, especially on the draw. Oh, there's 61 cards in this deck? There's 61 cards in this deck, aren't there? There's totally 61 cards in this deck. I really don't like the Azure Gateway builds. I think being able to kill people is important, and I think these control decks are very good at killing people. They have tools to be able to be proactive. The do nothing for 1,000 turns is just like silly. Like you have Crackling Drake that cantrips, you have Niv that basically always cantrips. You should play threats that actually end the game. I think Drake, Niv, or Phoenix are cards that should be in the main deck of your Jeskai control deck. Pick one of those. Ah, the old basic plains Field of Rune Crackling Drake opener. Is this a keep on the draw? I think this is a keep on the draw. My body's ready to never draw a land and die, but I think I'm supposed to keep this. Nice, Bronze. Yeah, the Bant Fog deck's really good. There's so many sweet things to be doing in this format. Sounds good, Paula. Perfect. Thanks for the support. What do I think about disinformation campaign control? I think they're reasonable. You can find my preferred blue blacklist on my website. Am I even playing Clarion here? Probably. Am I? I'm gonna hang tight. I think if we brick on a land next turn, I'll probably play Clarion. This card can't be constructed playable, right? Jake Bakes, thank you very much for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Just keeping me employed here. How do I feel about Seal, Exile the Hunted Witness? Yeah, I'm actually gonna do this, exile this, and then Clarion kill this. The deck list is on my website. You click deck list, it's Karn, Karntez, UBX, Karntez artifacts. Like, I just have infinite sweepers, right? Like, they're gonna draw lands eventually. And I get a blue source. Chat, asking you shall receive.
This isn't a fight. We need to move quickly.
Lucky, lucky, lucky. Do I leave up stroke or just a strike this turn? I think I just want to strike this knight. Nah, I don't want to strike the knight. I'm just going to settle the knights next turn. They're going to make another knight, and then I'll settle them next turn. I think I leave up stroke here. Stroke for Phoenix is a good suggestion. Look at him take off. Just like fired it up. Got the propellers going.
Enough.
Damn it. The current ladder rank system is just completely broken. It's a known issue. They didn't attack with the Witness because they wanted to play around. They wanted to play around Settle the Wreckage, and like flipping the Legion's Landing doesn't really add value for them because I have Field of Ruin in play. So I don't mind their play there at all. I'm just gonna keep Teferi high here. I mean, you might get something for ranking someday, though, Bob.
Stop that. Now.
Yeah, like, in a not too distant future where the ranking system is functional, having ranked matches on Arena will probably be one of the best ways to test in Magic, because getting to play against people, sorry, that explicitly have to have won a bunch of matches of Magic is one of the best ways to practice. Like, even Magic Online leagues, they're just random pairings. You're getting paired randomly to other people that put money into the slot machine. Like, Militia Bueller can, like, theoretically drag them back into the game, but, like, my hand's real good. And I've got Teferi on the table, so we're done here.
We need to move quickly.
Yeah, I agree. At the moment, Bob, it doesn't really do that, but someday it might. Are we done yet? What are we doing here, opponent? Hi, friend. All right. How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I stream basically nothing but constructed Magic on the channel. We play on a standard here on Arena. We play some modern on Magic Online. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I wouldn't be here day in and day out with their support. The reason I'm able to do this as a job. Past subscribing, you can also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 4 months now, and we really love it. I don't think we'd ever go back to traditional pillow top mattress. You can save $160 or more on a new match with them by checking out links bit.ly/ShukelBedUS and bit.ly/ShukelBedCA. Hey, Ginge, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine here with that. Are you someone that always thinks you can find the best possible line of Magic? Why don't you put your skills to the test at Possibility Storm? They do really awesome Magic puzzles. They put out new puzzles of varying difficulty every week, and you can find over 80 puzzles on their website at possibilitystorm.com. eBoss, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including CCG singles. You can also find lots of great strategy content there. My new article published on their site today. You see, using code Jeff5, you can save 5% on all of your TCG purchases there. And of course, BCW Supplies makes really wonderful Magic the Gathering sleeves. Using code Jeff10 at bcwsupplies.com, you can save 10% of your purchase of sleeves, deck boxes, and all sorts of other great stuff there. We just won our first matchup with this Jeskai control deck. We're gonna head back on into the second now. We're playing a variation that currently has Crackling Drakes in the main deck, but I think it's a great card to have. I think the better Jeskai control decks right now, in my experience at least, have either Crackling Drake, the 4-mana, the red Phoenix, I'm blanking on its name right now, or Niv Mizzet in the main. Basically, I just think the better control decks are the ones that have some proactive element to them, so that way they can actually race things like Banefire and stuff like that. Not Arclight, the other one, the one that comes back. Rekindling Phoenix, that's the one. Yeah, the opportunity cost on Drake is just incredibly low. Yeah, my preferred Jeskai list is the one on my website. It's got some Rals in it, it's got some Nivs in the main deck. The fact that Crackling Drake replaces itself is really sweet, though. Just like, so generally speaking, control decks like this often forego playing threats like Crackling Drake and Niv because they turn on your opponent's removal spells, and if your opponent just has a removal spell, you get very sad because they killed your threat. But Crackling Drake and Niv have a much lower opportunity cost on them because they draw cards. So even if they turn on your opponent's removal spell, you have replaced them with another card, so it's kind of like a 1 for 0. No, buying packs is how you buy cards on Arena. They're playing Jeskai, that's interesting. We could get negated here. Slife, thank you for the 10-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good Wednesday wherever you're at. Okay. We're gonna tuck my Drake? Sure.
I'm not ready for this quite yet.
And do I just Teferi tuck their Teferi now? Right?
You show remorse. You need to take a time out.
I played 3 matches of Modern and felt like I hated myself. So rather than stopping streaming for the day, I decided to play a format that didn't make me hate myself. You think Drake is good enough for Modern? Yeah, probably. The fact that it draws a card raises its floor a whole lot. They have a shock here to kill my Teferi. Real.
I won't let you win.
Double Crackling Drake here is very good, though. It's going to allow us to pressure our opponent's Teferi nicely. Search for Azcanta is also a phenomenal draw. How did Legacy go? Legacy went poorly. Legacy is Legacy, and we played a deck that wasn't particularly good.
You know what? I'm not done yet. Let's slow this down. Time is much more malleable than people think.
Idle, I've been loving the standard content. Keep it up. Me too, Idle. Thank you for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for supporting my desire to play good games of Magic. Feels like we're pretty far behind here. Woof. I think we're getting pretty close to it here. Expansion Explosion is a card that can help pull us back into the game, potentially.
Keep up the pace.
Yeah, the opponent deck seems sweet. There's a lot of neat stuff going on this round. I think I'm going to keep the land here, because I want an explosion for the most here. You can do X is 4. Yeah. I'm an eternal diehard. I only play Legacy and Modern Paper, but I must admit, Arena has surprised me. It's very funny. I really like the fact that you don't get everything right away unless you pay for it, and you're forced to play what you have. And I don't know. I think Arena is great, but I think it allows me to play casual Magic argument is kind of silly. The opponent's deck has a lot of mythics in it. You're not wrong. Play what you have. Any format of Magic is fun. Like, basically just like casual Magic is fun, which is like true, right? But like Arena explicitly doesn't enable you to play casual Magic any more than any other anywhere else does. Like, you can play casual Magic anywhere. We're probably a little bit too far behind now. Woof. Really need a deal 3 sweeper. If I had a Deafening Clarion here, we could actually be in a very good spot. Steal away. So I can seal this. I don't think I can do anything here. I can Teferi. Which mana do I have? I have 9. I guess I can seal Coil Teferi. That keeps me alive. I can't seal Lyra, chat. Seal only takes tapped creatures. So we're not beating a counterspell here, but I can take the Teferi out of play and not be dead on board. So like that's a start. No, I want to kill their Teferi this turn, chat.
That didn't pan out. I'm getting too old for this.
I think playing some rails is good. I think having some ways to actually kill creatures permanently is a big deal, especially in the Jeskai mirror. If you go to my website, we're dead to that. If you go to my website and click standard decks at the top, you'll find my current preferred Jeskai control list, and it has 2 rails in the main deck. All right. I think I want to board down to meet them where they're at, so I want these Nivs and these Lyras. Probably want Shalai too, honestly. Seal away seems like a liability. They have a lot of vigilance. Disdainful Stroke seems really good. Yeah, I agree. I like a 3 Teferi 2 Ral split. I'm pretty sure that's what's listed on my website. They have so many small creatures that could just get in the way of Warboss. Maybe I don't want all the Clarions. They have what's it called in their deck. They have History of Benalia that this cleans out, which is nice. Yeah, we're gonna wrap up with Sultai artifacts again today. I might try and right 61. I might try and audible to the Sultai deck if it feels good again for the GP. I really like this. I really like the Sultai deck drawing a bunch of cards. I think I want some Clarions in my deck, chat. I think cleaning out History of Benalia is good. Seems fine. Not only because of the legendary thing, I think Ral is good because it actually kills your opponent's cards. So like Teferi tucking a Niv Mizzet or Teferi tucking a Lyra is a temporary solution to a permanent problem. The fact that Ral permanently gets rid of things is a big deal. It's casual Magic. Is running 3 Nivs too many? I don't think so. I think especially if you want to win in the Jeskai mirror, having more Nivs tends to be fine. Define it then, please. I want to understand why you think so. Casual Magic is Magic where you're intentionally playing inoptimally, and playing with random budget restrictions is playing Magic inoptimally. Casual Magic means that you're doing something other than optimizing your deck to be good. That would be how I would define casual Magic. Not competitive Magic. Not doing everything in your champ power to give yourself the best chance to win. I didn't want to Ionize the Aurelia because I wanted to set up this turn here. Clean out everything. Also wanted to draw some cards. It's possible I should prioritize using my counter spells because like now I'm tapped out and don't really have removal. So maybe that sequence is bad. It's possible that my play there is not ideal. Because like now I have to play this and tuck Lyra.
Right on schedule. You need to slow down.
It's really good. It's a lot of fun, Jackal Girl. It just churns through the Magic cards. All right, so I get to Teferi. I get to Chemister's Insight, pick up 2 more cards here. Looking for a way to kill this. I miss. That's fine. We're in a pretty good spot here. Like, I'm gonna have another Teferi to tuck this next turn, and like I have plenty of counter spells. And like this card tucked something and it drew a card, so like we're kind of ahead at the moment.
No more game time for Plan B. As soon as I think of it.
That name sounds familiar. I voted a straight blue ticket yesterday.
Sorry I'm late. Not so fast.
Who I talked about getting that real sword back. I got you, Bilbo. So I think I favor Disdainful Stroking first here because I'd rather save the Ionize for something like a 3-mana spell that I want to counter.
We need to move quickly.
Are you sure? Yeah. All the merch is up on the website. So if you go to jeffhoagland.com and click merch, there's links to stickers, tokens, t-shirts. All sorts of fantastic stuff. From Legacy to Modern to Standard, it was quite a ride. Thanks for the great content. The Judgeinator, thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. That's why Magic's great. We get to bounce around and do a bunch of different things, right? This is why we save the Ionize. I always love the dishonest comparisons. People are like, well, if you make this really small comparison, it means this other really major extreme comparison has to also be true, which is just nonsense. Do you not, like, I like how that person took, if you're playing budget decks that's not really playing competitive Magic, to mean that if you're not testing Magic 24/7, you're not competitive. Just like, do you understand that there's a difference between those things? And maybe you don't. Maybe you're not terribly bright, or you don't understand like a consistent logical basis, but those things are very, very different. I like the cut of your jib, opponent. Yeah, I do, Fitzroy. I'm thinking about playing the Sultai Artifact. We're definitely playing the Artifacts deck again today. In fact, so Pikes re-added the Artifact deck after we played it yesterday, and then I dumped all the Dealer's Choice points people donated yesterday into it so we could play it again so soon. Yeah, there is a difference between a competitive deck that happens to be cheap and a budget deck. A budget deck is taking Jeskai control and cutting Teferi from it because you can't afford Teferi, and then playing Jeskai control without Teferi. This hand's good enough. Search on 2 is good. The counterspell kind of sucks on the draw, but I've got both Lava Coil and Deafening Clarion to interact with the board. I have my casual red-green Madness deck that I built as a small child and found in a box in my garage earlier this year. Protected by my BCW Elite Guard sleeves. Keep them in tip-top shape. Negate me, baby. Syncopate, interesting. We played a 4X Chamber Sentry deck earlier today. I don't know if it was particularly good though. No, shuffling always. Riffle shuffling Ben's cards. I don't riffle shuffle expensive cards. Unless they're mine. If they're mine, I riffle shuffle them. So, Johan, unfortunately, the shirts are being made by a third party, so we don't actually physically have those. The shirts are made to order. I have tokens, stickers, and pins that I could bring with the Grand Prix if somebody wanted them, but I don't have more than that. So, let me go ahead and do this. I don't think I ever tweeted that we were playing Jeskai Control. Probably should do that. I'm gonna let this happen. And I think I just untap Clarion. Just like keep holding Ionize up. I just don't want to get Teferi, right? Is basically what it is. I don't have an answer to Teferi resolving. I think this is fine. Again, I just don't want to die to Teferi. So now that they no longer have a bunch of instant speed stuff, I can hold up Ionize this turn and then end step Justice Strike this. Yeah, Jeff 5 on Cool Stuff Inc. Like, I've been representing Ionize very hard this game. Just gotta jam this, unfortunately. The old post-combat haste creature. You have History of Benalia here, too. Have I been baited? Yeah, Arena is fantastic. The integrations with Twitch are A+. Oh, alright. I'm out of gas. Hopefully they are too. First one to a Teferi wins. First one to a Teferi wins. Oh no, chat. They got the Teferi first.
I'm known for my hold that thought.
I'm gonna take one draw step. Okay. Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Good night, sweet prince. Oh no! Oh no!
Don't make another move.
Oh no!
I won't hide. Let's skip to the good part. Keep up the pace.
We've run pretty hot here. Punch that one in the throat. Oh my god! The instant speed shalai. Holy crap. Just savage. Brutal. Oh, good lord. I'm not even mad. I'm just kind of impressed. I'm just kind of impressed, chat.
You know what? I'm not.
Yep. That is, yep.
More game. Let's skip to the good part.
Yeah, it does, Sublugar. Any and all single purchases. Can't even settle. Good games, opponent. Well, the sweeter deck won that match. Unfortunately, that was not us, but the sweeter deck won that match. A couple more Jeskai control here. So, I'm feeling like... So, after playing, this is my first time really playing Jeskai control with Drakes in the main deck. I think I prefer Niv Mizzet. So the Jeskai control on my website, the main deck suite of win conditions is Teferi, Ral, and Niv. And I think I prefer that to this. The expansion explosions and Crackling Drakes I think feel worse than those alternatives. So I noticed here there's a lot of 3-ofs in the Jeskai deck list. So the important thing to realize about this standard format, and one of the reasons why it's such a good format, honestly, is that a lot of the cards in this format are modal cards, or better in some situations and worse in others. So for example, this deck has 6 2-mana removal spells in it, but there's 2 Seal Aways, 2 Lava Coils, and 2 Justice Strikes. So like, all of these cards are 2-mana removal spells, but some are better in some spots and some are better in others. So basically, what you're looking to do is, you play all these cards that have similar effects, so your deck is consistent because it has a lot of good cards in it that overlapping effects, but you hedge different situations with different splits. And I think that's an important thing to point out, because I think a lot of people see these decks and they think, well, if there's not all 4 of, that's not consistency. But really, last time it missed the riffraff, so I add attention to my question. What type of backing do the pins use on your site? Are they a black stopper style or a latch style? They have a latch on them, case and drift. And if you want, I believe there should be a picture of the back of them, and if there's not, I could send you one on Discord. We paid for the nicer backs on them. Sorry for missing it last time. Thanks for the bits, Kaysen. Sorry, to talk about control decks again, you want to think about control decks not as individual cards that are in them, but you want to look at them as, okay, this deck has 6 sweepers. It doesn't have, 3 Clarions, 2 Settles, and 1 Nova, even though those are the actual cards we're playing, but we have 6 effects that clear the board. Yeah, I think the white mid-range decks are very reasonable in Standard. They had very, very good results at the Grand Prix.
Get that out of here.
All right, so do I play Crackling Drake to pressure Vivian, or do I just get Teferi going? This is game 1, so there's a chance they have removal spells in their hand still that they're sitting on. I kind of don't want... I think I'm going to play the Crackling Drake, because next turn, if I draw an untapped land, I can go Teferi, land, hold up Ionize, which is nice. Trophy gave me a land, so I guarantee to have the land. Thank you.
Meet my newest friend.
Vivian has to -3 to kill things, so she was at 2. Ah, we're so close. All right, if we draw a land this turn now, we can actually hold up Settle next turn. Perfect, because they gave me a land. Welcome to the jungle, baby. $5 and our relationship is starting to get pretty serious. What's going on, Twerkin? Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. They're shipping your Bezo bucks back this way again this month. I really don't like the no win condition Jeskai decks. Just not a fan of how they're put together. I think there's so many good threats in this format that generate value when you play them that you should play cards that actually win the game rather than mono dirtle. Dumpster, thanks very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine. Ugh. This deck is light on ways to be Carnage Tyrant. I guess I have 2 ways in the sideboard. All right, so I think I keep Clarion here because if I find Expansion Explosion, it lets me... Oh, I can field them. I can field them and shuffle the Carnage Tyrant.
I'm not done yet.
All right, in to field them, shuffle the Carnage Tyrant. Hey, Denabur, thank you for the 5-month resub. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Shuffling with Field of Rune is not optional. My little baby Drake.
Sometimes restoration.
Good night, my sweet prince. That means I get to flip over search next turn, which is great.
That was uncalled for. Time for plan B, as soon as I think of one.
Time for my plan B as soon as I think of one. Poor Teferi. I'm okay with that. This might be wrong. think I just Teferi plus here.
This isn't a fight you can win. Hold that thought.
Justice Strike's a great draw. This might have been a little aggressive on my part. Got a lot of cards in hand still, though, which is nice. I may get to draw another card with Teferi. Yep. Justice Strike's been a consistently good removal spell. Been pretty happy with that one in the decks I played it in.
Nature.
Oh, if I strike the Phoenix, I could clean with Clarion. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Yeah, that's better. I agree with the idea that that is better.
We need to move quickly.
Now I have to burn an extra Clarion here. So I would be up a Clarion here if I'd have sequenced better. So I'm gonna play Field of Ruin here as opposed to Sacred Foundry, because this way I can activate Azcanta and cast Ionize this turn. This has been such a good game. This format just generates so many genuinely good games of Magic. Just so much back and forth. So many sequencing decisions. If they find Carnage Tyrant, we're going to be in a little bit of trouble, but we have outs to that too, because we have Search for Azcanta going. I think that's ideal, Draft Brew. I'd probably even play 2 Ral, honestly. You can find my preferred Jeskai control list on my website. So again, this is a donation deck list. So for those people that are familiar with my stream, pretty much all the decks we play on the stream are viewer-submitted deck lists. So someone sent in this specific Jeskai deck that I believe it actually top 8'd a tournament recently. But they wanted to see this deck list played, so we're playing card for card what they sent in.
Keep up the pace.
All right, so I am just gonna explosion this for some amount, right? So I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I draw 4. I think that's enough.
Now we're getting started.
Woo, doggy!
Strike me, and you strike nature.
Alright, so Teferi untaps 2 lands, which means I get to seal away, plus activate Azcanta this turn. Got him. All right, so what are we doing here? This isn't a planeswalker. This isn't a flying creature matchup because they just shoot them down with Vivian. Honestly, Vivian might be a reason to just get rid of the Crackling Drakes. Definitely a Star of Extinction matchup. Disdainful Stroke seems good. Syncopate's a little clunky. What do you think of this? This seems kind of okay. Is this too few win conditions? This means I just have Expansion Explosion as a win condition, right? Which is probably not good. We've become what we've hated. The Sealaways are kind of a liability. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the Drakes in. They draw a card. If they die to Vivian, that's fine. This blocks Carnage Tyrant too, which is nice. This isn't a Warboss matchup, chat. The opponent's deck has a lot of creatures that can block. Warboss is a card that comes in against other control decks that don't have a lot of creatures to put into play. I keep forgetting that there's 61 cards in this main deck. Sealways are only out to Phoenix. That's not true. We have both Settle the Wreckage, we have Double Killing It, and we have Lava Coil. I think I prefer Carnage Tyrant. There are 61 cards in the main deck for people asking, because the person that top baited whatever tournament this deck is from played 61 cards. Lands are great. Play more lands. Lands are fantastic. Can you explain why it makes sense for the opponent to concede at that point? It actually makes a lot of sense. A lot of the people that find control frustrating to play against don't concede fast enough. Control is an archetype where the game is over before your health total reaches 0. It's not like an aggro or a mid-range deck while you're constantly applying pressure. Control decks put an insurmountable advantage into play and then make you feel miserable while they slowly kill you. You are dead against a control deck long before your health total ever reaches 0. Eventually, putting your health total to 0 is a formality. In a competitive setting like paper tournaments, if you're someone who plays paper Magic, you often want to concede to control before you're fully dead in those matches too, because the clock is a real concern. Drawing is bad for you. Possible this is a little aggressive. We could get Phoenix this turn, but I guess I don't really have a good answer to Phoenix anyways, so it's like, eh.
No time for a break.
Do I want to tuck? I kind of just want to, like, draw some cards, hold my negate up here, not let them sneak a Planeswalker in. Like, I get to draw, like, 3 cards, basically, probably find an answer. Ooh, that's aggressive. That is absurdly aggressive. All right, well, now we're going to tuck her in. Reverse! 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 Oh, they have Banefire. That's a good read. That is a good read. Maybe there should be Lyras in my deck. That is 10 out of 10 a Banefire attack. That was very, very much a Banefire attack.
Keep up the pace.
I'm playing this now because I'm going to get to untap 2 lands at the end of my turn. So I can hold up 2 counterspells here, for instance. I mean, big would only be 3, and drawing 3 cards versus drawing 2 cards isn't that different. What am I playing Modern? We're done playing Modern today. We started playing Modern, and I played Dredge, and I just hated myself. So here we are. I almost just stopped streaming, and then I decided I'd rather just stop streaming Modern. So, we'll play Modern later this week. Might do Modern during the PT. The Pro Tour starts with the draft portion, so during the draft portion Friday morning, I'm probably going to do Modern. Star does set back Banefire, you're not wrong. The problem is it kills my Teferi too. How many lands do they have? They have 5, 6, 7, 8. So they need 2 more lands to come in with Banefire.
We need to move quickly.
I agree. I agree. It is very, very difficult to watch Magic Online and play Magic Online. After playing Arena. Arena is so smooth. Like, the smoothness of Arena combined with how good Standard is just makes it tough to, like, log into Magic Online and play Modern. So I've got Explosion for 5 here. Maybe it's a lot worse, but sure, it's probably the best thing you can do, Captain Command. Man, where are my Drakes at? Where are my Drakes at, chat?
Hurry!
Ah! I have too many cards. Ah! Stop it! No, I ended up leaving the Drakes in because I would have been boarding down to too few win conditions. Get out of my hand. 30 cards in my deck. He's dead, Jim.
Stop that. Now!
I'm sure I could star and not lose Teferi. Seven mana Stone Rain. Does that get you going, Twitch chat? I know Twitch chat loves blowing up lands. Is this everything you've ever wanted and so much more, Twitch chat? Just 7 mana Stone Rain you? Really get your jollies going? Pawns up, pawns up, pawns up.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
All right. 22 cards. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. 7 mana Stone Rain. Thanks for the salty bits extras. Eat your heart out, Mentor Golem, Meteor Golem. They could have Banefire, Burgle. We're just playing around Banefire. Oh no! Oh no! What if we die, chat? What if they have a second Banefire?
Let's skip to the good part.
Oh no! How many lands do I have? I have 4, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I can't Azcanta untap lands and kill them this turn. If they have another Banefire in hand, we die. Where are my Drakes? I put them back in my deck for a reason. We're so dead. This is an X. They're casting an X. Oh! Oh, I didn't die! I didn't die! Yeah, I should probably insight again. Didn't matter. Did I board my Drakes out? I'm genuinely starting. Okay, whew, I was starting to question my sanity. I genuinely was starting to think maybe the Drakes weren't in my deck. I could have sworn I'd put them back in, but I honestly wasn't sure. All right, gotta fade one draw step. Put 26 power into play. Go. All right, we don't block these, and this is why I didn't Cleansing Nova. I don't want them to draw cards. They're drawing to Banefire. Don't let them draw cards. Midnight Reaper says when their creatures die, they draw cards. So I don't want them to draw cards, and exiling them does not count as them dying. Loving the standard content, and thanks for the rant yesterday. It's really important that people like you push everyone to vote. And look, it did happen in a lot of places, cases all. Thanks for the 8 months of support. Welcome back. You're spending your Bezo bucks this wagon this month. I've played 1 or 2 Worth of Jeskai deck. I think I prefer Niv in the main, but like, this deck's got some jam. All these Jeskai decks are just really good. I think so. People have been talking about the Pro Tour, and like, people have expressed concerns that they're worried that the Pro Tour is going to narrow the metagame or like put out some deck that's going to be like crazy impossible to beat. And I really don't think that's going to happen. My expectation for the Pro Tour is that we're going to have a variety of decks in the top 8. And the big thing that's going to come out of the Pro Tour is the big teams that come in that test. They're going to put forward the optimal builds of things like Jeskai and maybe a couple optimal builds of green-black. I think basically we're going to see them tune decks that we're familiar with as opposed to some big new scary thing. I mean, if the PT is a lot of Golgari, then Jeskai Control is going to have a good weekend. This standard format is good because of the balance of answers and threats that exist in it. There aren't Hazarets, there aren't Scarab Gods. The mana is really good, so you can play lots of different color combinations. Just a lot of things going for the standard format. I think I'm just going to use my mana and just like kill this token here. If you return a token to its owner's hand, it just goes away. For those that might not be familiar with that interaction. Yeah, you can find the Sultai deck on my website. Click standard decks. I think it's listed as UBX Carntez. And then I'm going to go ahead and Justice Strike this venerated Loxodon here. And then just curve into my Drake nicely. Yeah, it is Kazazol. I think this deck lines up pretty well. Like most of the iterations of Jeskai line up well into green black in my experience. I think you can build green black to be competitive against Jeskai, but I think you give up points in a lot of other matchups in order to do that. That's scary, because it means this knight is going to permanently be a 4/4. Really need a Settle or a... what's it called here? I might have to throw this away as a chump blocker this turn. Woof. That's where I'm like Settle Nova or bust here. Yeah, definitely a little bit of wrong half problem there on our part, right? Like, we have tools to be competitive in this matchup, but just like the way the cards we drew that game lined up into what our opponent's doing wasn't particularly ideal for us. Get to cut some of this awkward spot removal out of our deck. I'm gonna leave Lava Coil in because it kills Tristani and it kills Shalai. It's a stroke matchup. It's probably a stroke matchup, right? Between their Loxodons and their Trinais and their Shalais. Expect Immortal Sun. That makes stroke better. Yeah, stroke stops most of their winning plays. Negate could be useful here too, but I don't know that I want to cut anything in my deck right now to bring in Negate. Maybe 2 stars is excessive. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Right, 61 cards, we get 2 Negates. At some point, we'll be sideboarding and I'll remember we have 61. I think this is fine to keep on the play. It's 61 cards because the deck list that we copied from a top 8 that someone submitted, I had 61 cards in it. Half a year. Can I put this re-up towards blue-black shadow? Is it something already in the queue? Yep, 10 out of 10. We'll get that added. Thanks for the support, Krago. I think that'll actually push it to the top. I think I'm gonna do some modern Friday morning while the Pro Tour, I'm gonna do modern Friday morning while the Pro Tour's doing draft, I think. It might be a little aggressive to use my Lava Coil there, but I kind of want to keep my health total high. It also, like, gets an instant or sorcery in my graveyard, so this Crackling Drake can have a point of power this turn. So that way this can't just attack for free. Okay. If they don't have a second Conclave Tribunal, I really don't mind this here because Lyra Dawnbringer is much better than Crackling Drake, obviously. But if they have a second Tribunal, we're going to be in a lot of trouble here. Unless we hit something reasonable. Yeah, we're any of our sweepers really. Settle the Wreckage, Clarion, lots of cards that have a lot of play to them in this matchup for sure. I think Karn's really good in green-black. I think 4-mana Vraska leaves a lot to be desired in that deck. Vraska's like a card that looks like she generates card advantage, but she really doesn't. She says draw a card on her, but she requires you to put a card in to get a card out. How long till Karn Tez? I think one more after this. Maybe like half an hour or so. Okay. Opponent also concluded that Lyra was good on that board. Do you mean like Mardu Pyromancer with some Nahiris in it? I think that would be fine. But in my experience, most Mardu decks that look like they have Nahiris in them are just like bad versions of Mardu Pyromancer. And I'm just gonna start rejecting things that are just bad versions of other modern decks, I think. They just don't generate good games of Magic. Or they generate worse games of Magic than the other decks do. Whatever you want to say. What's going on, Wizard Ski Patrol? Thanks for the 5 months. I think it's really good. Get to curve search into Clarion here. I really don't think Red White Prison's a very good deck kept in command. Yeah, you have to. I feel like people have been slotting 4-mana Vraska into just generic green-black decks, when in reality, to make 4-mana Vraska good and really generate card advantage, you need your deck to have a very specific build to it. I think I'm not going to get greedy. I'm just going to go ahead and Clarion this board. I could maybe wait one more turn, but I'm going to take 5 next turn. I'd rather not, I think. Also, if I give them a turn with this Thorn Lieutenant, they could play the Venerated Loxodon and then get it out of Clarion range. It's a good draw. You can see me play Panza on my YouTube channel in the past. I'm not going to play Panza again. It's very easy to explain why Panza's not a good deck in Modern. Panza is a deck that doesn't play to the board. It doesn't interact with things that the opponent has put into play. Modern's a format that's very much about impacting the board as soon as possible.
I know my responsibility.
Panza's a deck that hopes to screw people into not playing their spells in a format full of like efficient 1 and 2 mana spells.
Keep up the pace.
So like, while there are a small number of games that you're going to be able to stone rain someone on the play and get really lucky to do so, there's going to be a lot of other games that just doesn't work out. There's going to like cast a Tarmogoyf and kill you. Alright, so they're going to pump Thorn Lieutenant, kill Teferi here. That's fine. I've got Search for Azcanta going here still, and I've got 2 expansion explosions in my hand. And I've got the Settle the Wreckage to deal with what's on board already. Cleansing Nova. I think I'd actually rather Cleansing Nova to start here, because settling, while I would settle next turn if I didn't draw the Nova, Settle the Wreckage gives my opponent more land, which makes their future March of the Multitudes more potent. Search for Azcanta is much, much better than Azure Gateway. Search for Azcanta creates pretty insurmountable card advantage as the game tends to go long. I get to flip this regardless, so let's keep the Ionize. Ionize like everything we're looking to do to lock up this game. I think I'm gonna Explosion one of this for 3. Yeah, Azure Gateway generates card selection. It does not generate card advantage. Whereas when you flip Search for Azcanta, it generates actual card advantage by drawing you cards. Alright, Drake should lock this game up very quickly. And again, this is a good example of why just having cards that actually kill your opponent in your deck is good. Drake is going to be a card that like actually attacks for a bunch and kills them very, very quickly, as opposed to like waiting to dirtle around with a Teferi. No, I don't think so. The opponent's deck often doesn't really play Planeswalkers in it. So, the only card to punish me for activating Azcanta here is March of the Multitudes, and I have Settle the Wreckage to cover March of the Multitudes. So if they want to march right now, more power to them. Yeah, I think Grixis Dragons is great. It's one of the decks that's on my website. It's felt really powerful. Turn 4 Niv Mizzet does not mess around. The old turn 3 Sarkhan into Niv Curve is quite fantastic. Oh man, I have to discard a card. How unlucky. We actually played standard blue-white mill yesterday, so you can find that on my YouTube channel. You can also find that on my website under Video Standard. Get my thoughts and opinions on that. Alright, I already shilled during this deck, so I'm not going to shill again, but Arena decided to take a nap, so enjoy my wonderful sponsors page here for half a second while I reload Arena. These people are great. Buy their stuff. I don't like to spend too much time on ads. The ads are important because they pay the bills, but, you know, focus is magic. Yeah, so someone asked why I took the counterspell over the Teferi there. I took the counterspell because I already had winning the game on lock. Had that on cruise control. So just wanted to make sure my opponent didn't draw anything that could interact with me. How do you buy from Hoaglandia? You mean if you want to put a deck into the queue, this is the details on how you submit a deck to be played on stream. If you're talking about merchandise, you can find merchandise here. Sounds good. I think I'll keep Clarion in the dark. I'm sure we're about to be playing a mirror now that I put Clarion on top of my deck, but like, I have Azcanta and Syncopate. Sweet. Sweet. Clarion's live. If you think that bit.ly is funny, you should read the FAQ at the bottom of the sellout page. think I'm actually bidding this. I just want to make sure I hit my land drops this game. This might be a little aggressive, but I really don't want them to flip the Legion landing. Drake's a good draw. That one. Still have Syncopate for 1 up here. 4 cards in the bin. Sure. Would love a red source so we can play this Drake out. You know what's funny? I was actually going to say I've really liked the Field of Runes so far today. No, I have Arena installed just using line staging. Works perfectly fine. It's like a counter spell of sorts, right? Perfect. Yeah, I just installed wine staging. I think I'm on 3.18 right now, and it just works fine. It worked fine with 3.17 as well. So the Settle is good, but I don't actually have a second white source at the moment. If they attack aggressively and flip their Legion landing, I could field them and get my colors. Oh! Oh, 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 I almost messed up. I almost messed up, chat. Woo! Woo! I'm glad there was a trigger there. I thought I clicked past letting that result. That would have been real bad. It would have been, whoo! Whoo! God bless you. Do I leave Drake back? I think I do. I think I just want them to hang out. Or like be forced to play more removal spells if they have them. So the auto tapper didn't tap Azcanta. I let it tap Azcanta, and I probably shouldn't have. I figured I was just gonna attack and then settle this turn, so I didn't care that the Azcanta tapped, but obviously I decided to hold the Drake back, so I messed up. Don't blame the auto tapper for your mistakes, chat. It's not the auto tapper's fault. The auto tapper told me what it was going to do, and then I approved it. You can always tell the people who've never been a manager at a job because they blame the auto tapper for messing up. It's like, no, you're responsible for the people that work under you and what they do. Well then, I'm glad I have double settle. Goodbye, friends. Sorry I destroyed your village. Have some lens. Hey, Pikes, thanks for the $15 tip. I appreciate it. Good sir, may I put this new iteration of Greedy Golgari in the queue? Yeah, sounds good, Pikes. You forgot to put a link in your donation message, but drop me a private message and I'll let you know. Just message me on Discord or Twitch. Either works. I think about Teferi, and plus, if I hit a land, I can hold up Settle.
Right on. We need to move quickly.
Perfect. I'm just gonna start killing them. This kind of screams I have a Settle, but I think that's fine. Perfect bike. Goodbye, friends. Good clean sequencing there, opponent. Good clean sequencing. Nothing but the best here. For those that don't understand, Shalai prevents Settle the Wreckage from being cast because it gives my opponent hexproof. Let me scream, I have Settle from the rooftop. Shalai post-combat. All right. Why do I need to tuck? I can just trade. Chat, you're too focused on killing them. You need to worry about drawing cards. You need to, yeah, the game is over. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, do you understand that when you kill your opponent, you have to give up drawing cards? Like, that's it. Like, when they concede, you don't get to draw any more cards that game. It's really incredibly sad if you think about it. You need to understand that, like, if you're gonna play Jeskai control, that this deck is about making your opponents realize they slowly hate themselves in Magic. It's not about actually ending the game. That's probably actually why people play the Azure Gateway builds, because then they can't accidentally win the game by mistake too soon. Legion Warboss is for the mirror. Yeah, there's no way to see the card total without changing views. It's very bad design. Yeah, I prefer Cleansing Nova in general. I think Settle the Wreckage tends to be pretty telegraphed. There's some good sequences with Teferi, obviously, but I think those good sequences are outweighed by how awkward it often is. All right, give me Clarion or give me death. I'm doing this to fix my mana more so than attack my opponents, just for reference. Sorry, I killed your stuff. Have nothing. Professionalism, chat. Remember, nothing but professionalism here. Good game. Well played. Well played. GG. No, I missed the lifelink trigger. It was a misclick. I apologize. I apologize. My creatures will be forever upset that I missed the lifelink. So please keep in mind that if you want to give criticism on this channel, you need to be constructive about it, and that includes criticism of the people that I'm playing against. You don't just come in here and say that I made a mistake or my opponent made a mistake without being constructive and specific about it. Without being constructive and specific, saying that somebody made a mistake just serves to tear them down. And here we want to help people learn, we want to build them up. So be constructive, be specific. Critical, constructive criticism is welcomed. Non-constructive criticism, we'll get a 10-minute break. All right, so this build of Jeskai control, I honestly just don't know what ideal Jeskai control looks like. I have what are personal preference based on how I like to play the game, I think, and I think that I prefer the list on my website with main deck Niv in it to this one. But honestly, I think in general, so long as you have Crackling Drake, Rekindling Phoenix, or Niv, pick one of those 3 creatures to put in the main deck of your Jeskai deck, you're going to be pretty happy with the results. I think having some way to proactively attack your opponent is good. Personally, I'm a fan of splitting Teferi with Ral, and the reason for that is for the opposing Jeskai matchups, Ral Zarek actually kills their Niv Mizzet, whereas Teferi tucks Niv Mizzet, and then he comes back and beats you up again later. So I think having some Rals as a way to kill Niv is a big deal. All right, we're gonna play what is quickly